Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Kanisha. Today I'm here to talk about the second episode of Warrior Nun. My first time watching this episode, I didn't feel like I had a lot to say about it. But after the second watch, I realized I have as many questions about this show as I had after watching the first episode. So let's get to it. This second episode started off kind of slow for me, but the mystery elements really picked up when we got to the Arctech party area of the episode. So I guess the first thing I want to talk about is this portal. Dr. Salvius presents this new portal, and I was really I guess scientists don't maybe ever get scared. I don't know, but she stuck her hand in the portal and was totally cool with it. But me, I consider myself to be a fairly reasonable person. I don't like taking risks. So yeah, when she sticks her hand in the portal and it disappears, everyone's like oohing and ahhing, and I'm like, if I was in her position, I'd be like, where does this go? Like, is the arm gonna come back? So I hope they did some testing beforehand. Maybe they asked an intern to do it or some other researcher to make sure like you would be in one piece afterward. So I mean, I guess kudos for her, but maybe she already knew she would be fine. And they do they know? Does she know where the portal goes? Yeah, like if I was in that position, I would have so many questions. I would not want to put my arm in there. And I'm glad she's in one piece. I'm glad she's unharmed. But yeah, really sketchy. Wouldn't want to do that. But I guess it's good for science. Yeah, she mentioned something about stabilizing a Higgs field. I have no idea what those words mean. So I hope it's all good, and congratulations. But yeah, the portal, yeah, I have a few more questions about the portal, really. The Cardinal mentioned, he expressed some, I don't know, uneasiness about the doctor having divinium or discovering divinium, whatever, when he was talking with Kristian at the party. And so I wonder, is the portal powered by divinium? Is it made of divinium? And yeah, so if it is made or powered with divinium, then I wonder, does going through the portal mean you can get to heaven? I think that divinium is associated with heaven based on the name. I could totally be wrong, and maybe I'll find that out in future episodes. But yeah, where does the portal go? How did it get made? What's it made of? How is it powered? Are, I guess, the most pressing questions that I have after watching this episode. And I'm really shocked that the doctor had no problem putting her arm in there, but I guess she's got that personality, and I definitely couldn't do what she does. So, all right. There's a lot of stuff at Arctech that we find in this episode. Dr. Salvius unearths or excavates a shield that's from the Crusades, and I think they said 3rd century. And then we see that Ava stumbles upon this shield, and it starts glowing a lot like the divinium. So I'm assuming that the shield is made of divinium, and I wonder if it's specifically her that it responds to, or is it because she has a halo? She's a halo bearer now. Or is it because I think she is an angel? I don't know how that works. I could be totally wrong about that, but I just believe that the first episode wasn't the first time that she's ever been resurrected. I think it's happened to her maybe multiple times, and I think that the halo that she has now belongs to her. And so maybe the shield responds to her because that's also her shield. Could be a possibility. I'm kind of leaning that way because I think Ava is just like super special, or at least she has more powers than what Shannon had when she had the halo. So yeah, the shield might belong to Ava as well as the halo she currently has. And well, but the power could also just be like recognition. Like maybe the divinium recognizes a sort of sanctified person is near. Could be, maybe. I have so many questions about what's going on, and I can't wait to actually get more information about how all of this supernatural stuff works. So I'm looking forward to like getting some answers, and I'm only 2 episodes in, so I got a long way to go. So I hope I get there soon. But I'm cool with like just getting the sort of breadcrumbs and having more questions to ask, because that's fine with me. Like, I think that's part of the fun of experiencing a new show, is you have all these unanswered questions, and the fun of the ride is, you learn about everything gradually. So I'm still looking forward to that. I also see that the Cardinal is involved with the Warrior Nuns, and he is invited to this Arctech party, or demonstration, celebration, whatever. I'm gonna call it a party. So he's at this party, and he is aware of Kristian and Dr. Jillian, and he's aware of their research. So I'm trying to figure out like how involved he is with the secrets of the church. He's a cardinal, which I don't know about the hierarchy of the Catholic Church, but I think he's pretty high up there. So he's probably aware of a lot of stuff, but maybe doesn't have any power to, I don't know, direct. I don't even know what they would be directing as far as the Warrior Nuns, but he knows stuff. He knows more than the Warrior Nuns that we've seen. And he warns the doctor in Kristian about using divinium and like not being aware of its capabilities. It's too dangerous for, I don't know, normal people, or too dangerous for regular, or not regular. It's just too dangerous for people in general, I guess, to be using. And I guess too dangerous for anyone not involved with the church, because I assume that the people in the church know exactly what it is, what it's for, how to use it, what are the dangers of it, and all of that. They probably know all of that sort of information surrounding the divinium. But what annoys me about this sort of thing that happens in TV shows, or even with parents and children, like, so you warn someone against doing something, and you basically your explanation is just, it's bad, and something bad will happen, and they expect it to deter whoever it is that they're trying to warn. But that's a terrible explanation, because it's not really an explanation. So it's really annoying to me when that happens in TV shows. Like, you don't understand, like the Cardinal was saying, you don't understand what you're messing with. You don't understand the forces at work that are surrounding this divinium and I guess the portal. But it would be better if he explained to them like what it is they don't understand. So that's really annoying, but I guess that's also bad for TV. So you can't do that. So fine. We'll figure it out eventually. And probably we'll figure it out in a much like cooler and more interesting way than the Cardinal just spilling all the secrets. So okay, I gotta let that go. But it's annoying. Okay. So if he's not gonna, well, I guess maybe it's up to us to guess or speculate on what it is that's the downside of the divinium being used for science. The only, like, I guess the biggest negative consequence that could come from it is that the hell beasts, or what they call them, a Tarask, which were the creatures that was looking for Shannon's halo and, messed up her body. I wanted to say that in the nicest way. So let's go with mess up her body. So the Tarask came in. I guess, I don't know if the Tarask are connected to the divinium, or maybe they just have a way to sense it where it is. And I'm wondering if that's why the Cardinal doesn't want any persons other than the church to have the divinium, to store it. We see that they make weapons out of it, like at the end of the episode and with Shannon's sword. So, like, I mean, that's only what I can assume from what I've seen. So I guess he's trying to be a good person and protect everyone, but yeah, the explanation just isn't cutting it. I also wonder if messing with the divinium is somehow going to unravel the fabric of the universe. Like, what else could be some dire consequence of people not with the church experimenting with the divinium? Like, is it even an element that can be experimented with and changed, like anatomically? Or like the way that I see divinium is that it is some material that comes from heaven. And I could be absolutely wrong, and I hope that I find out what it is. I hope they tell us what it is in the show. I don't think divinium is a real element. It's not on the periodic table, so I'm totally assuming that it is some made-up material for the show. I did find it interesting that Dr. Salvius knew about divinium and knew that the church had divinium. I'm assuming that information came from Kristian. But yeah, I don't know if divinium, even in the world of Warrior Nun, is something that the general public know about. But yeah, I just feel like divinium is this ultra sacred element that I feel like comes from heaven just based on the name. But it's just odd to me that, like, it can be excavated seemingly, and a shield is made out of it, and like it can be used to possibly power a modern machine. So yeah, the mystery of the divinium is interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing if divinium gets explained at all on this show. I'd be very happy to see what they have to say about it. And I guess speaking of divinium, we see that divinium like has a blue hue. I'm guessing it's like a blue metal that's what's it called, luminescent, or however that word is said. And I find it extremely hypocritical that the cardinal is gonna tell Dr. Jillian and Kristian that divinium is sacred and it should only be with the church. It's too rare and special and all this kind of stuff. But he has a ring that's made of divinium. Like, Ava walks into the party with JC, and the cardinal is, standing off to the side. She sees him, and she kind of gets freaked out because she doesn't want anything to do with the church. But we see that he has a ring on his hand, and it glows, and that obviously signals that it's made of divinium. And if divinium is so sacred to the church, why are you making jewelry out of it? And I don't even think that's the only one. I wouldn't be surprised if other cardinals or other people in the church have divinium jewelry. Like, maybe it's not a ring, it could be bracelet, it could be a necklace, pendant, earrings, any of that, or all of that. And it's like I said, hypocritical for the cardinal to say all that stuff to Dr. Jillian. And I can't imagine there's really a purpose for having divinium in a ring other than other than it's a status symbol. Maybe the divinium can protect him from the demons. I doubt it. I just think it's a signal and evidence about the conversation the cardinal had with Kristian and Dr. Jillian about using the divinium for personal gain. And he sort of what's the word? I don't know. I can't think of it right now. But so he's sort of, talking down to Dr. Jillian and Kristian about don't use this for personal gain, and yet you got this ring on your finger that's divinium. He rubbed me the wrong way, especially with that conversation. But maybe I could totally be wrong, and maybe he is genuine. Maybe he really wants to help, and he does know more about the demons and the terrace and all of the hell stuff. And he knows that they're for real. And everybody else that's not involved with the church doesn't see any evidence of that. So, okay. I'll try to cut him a little slack, but it seems awfully shady. I would say that. I'll leave it at that. And then we see that there's a security, not guard, but security personnel person who, I guess, crashed the party. And he's upset about the mission that happened in the first episode. So he was there when Shannon and the other warrior nuns were attacked, and Shannon was fatally wounded. So he seemed none the wiser about all that stuff. He didn't know about the warrior nuns' existence, and that makes me think that there's someone else maybe on the crew or part of Arctech that is totally aware about the warrior nuns. And we know that Kristian is because of that conversation with McCready. So Kristian knows about the warrior nuns and sent security people to deliver a package. But it was sabotaged, or they were aware that an ambush from the warrior nuns was coming and made a bomb of divinium to protect the package. I'm not totally sure how that all played out. We'll probably get some more answers now that Mary has McCready. But I really want to know, like, I don't think McCready has anything to do with Shannon's death. I still am suspicious of Lilith as far as that goes. But I'm starting to think that Dr. Jillian and Kristian are going to end up fighting with the church and therefore fighting with the warrior nuns, maybe over their stashes of divinium. Maybe Arctech and the doctor want to basically steal some divinium and use it to experiment or use it to work on the portal. Yeah, I don't see that ending well, actually, if they get their hands on divinium and start messing with portal stuff. I'm starting to think that Dr. Jillian wanted to fight off the warrior nuns from coming to get their package that was supposed to be delivered by McCready and his team. So I'm thinking that Dr. Jillian and Arctech made the bomb that fatally wounded Shannon. I don't know how Lilith ties into it, but I'm not letting her off the hook just yet. Maybe after I get some more, maybe after I and Mary get some more information out of McCready, I'll change my mind. But for now, I still think Lilith is suspicious about her involvement with Shannon's death, and I'm starting to think that Dr. Jillian maybe okayed or planned for the warrior nuns to try and intercept the package, and maybe I feel like she would be able to make a bomb and put divinium in it. Or she could, put someone else on that job. Like, she works with other scientists and probably engineers. So she's suspicious to me too. So her and Lilith, I'm putting on trial. Like, I'm charging them with murder, basically. For now. It could change. But for now, yeah, I got my eye on them. I'm really curious to see in future episodes how much Dr. Jillian knows about what is happening in the church involving the divinium and the existence of demons. Or I think that she thinks that the church is hoarding a very valuable and special metal for their own gain, and maybe Dr. Jillian thinks that the existence of demons in heaven and hell are maybe not real, so maybe she didn't see any problem with using divinium for science and experimenting and doing research and all that stuff. Which I kind of get her point, but we, the audience, know that she is wrong if that is what she believes. We know that there are demons in the Tarrasques, which I learned in this episode. So, I think the Tarrasques are the hell beasts that were described in the first episode, but I don't know, maybe I'll get some more clarification as the episodes, go on. But, yeah. So maybe Dr. Jillian doesn't have any qualms about taking the divinium from the church. Maybe she just thinks she's using this special metal for the good of humanity. So, okay, I can't fault her for thinking that. But yeah, I feel like she is very much in the know about divinium and its historical context, how divinium has appeared throughout history and what it's been used for. I think she knows all of that, maybe from Kristian, maybe from doing her own research. But yeah, I would I'm looking forward to seeing how involved she is with all of that sort of information and how much she knows. Like I mentioned before, I still think Lilith is involved with Shannon's death. Don't know how exactly, but I just still feel that way. I mean, I'll probably learn that I'm wrong, but that's where I'm at right now. And it's so clear that Lilith is obsessed with power to me. In the scene where Mary comes in and I think she's sort of debriefing about her investigation with the bomb that ended up killing Shannon. So she walks into the church and Lilith is like sort of close to the back wall, like up kind of on a stage. I don't know what it's called, but I'm calling it a stage, and she's standing there with a divinium sword, and to me that signifies that she is obsessed with power. And I think that obsession is going to lead her to, I feel like it'll lead her to definitely try to take the halo out of Ava, maybe against Father Vincent's directions. But it just seems so clear that she is obsessed with having the halo. And she talks about how Mary isn't welcome or shouldn't be welcome, or she's like not one of the warrior nuns, which I had been wondering because she doesn't wear I'm going to call it a habit because that's what they called it in Sister Act, but she doesn't wear the habit like Lilith, Beatrice, and Camilla do. So I'm assuming she hasn't taken like an oath to become a nun. And I'm also looking forward to seeing I hope we get to see how she gets involved with the church. Despite not taking an oath to be a nun. So that's interesting to me. I hope we get to see that. We probably will. But yeah, back to Lilith. So Lilith kind of seems to have this beef with Mary. I'm assuming it's because Mary isn't being involved in the search for the halo, and instead she is still like kind of trying to hold on to Shannon and trying to I guess in a way get closure about what happened with Shannon, which I mean, I understand, like they seem like they were very close, especially as Mary was holding Shannon in the first episode and Shannon was talking to her, and like giving her last words. So yeah, so they are obviously, Mary and Shannon are obviously very close. And I wonder if that has anything to do with why Lilith is so kind of abrasive with Mary and like not supportive. Again, like Lilith does say that the halo should be their number one priority, and like the fate of the world is, resting on this halo and like the control of the halo. So maybe that's why she was bad-mouthing and being snarky with Mary. But I wonder if that sort of beef between Mary and Lilith, is that just starting, or has this been something that's has it been something that's been ongoing? I wonder if if Shannon's death sort of brought about these new emotions towards Mary and how Mary has reacted to Shannon's death, or like, are these feelings that Lilith has always had about Mary? So I wonder if we'll ever get more insight to that. I mean, it might not really matter either way. But yeah, I just see that scene as another example of Lilith being obsessed with power, being obsessed with having the halo, and perhaps, she's so ambitious and obsessive over it that she might speed up her tenure with the Halo by doing something to Shannon. So I still think she's guilty. I'm probably wrong. I will find out eventually, but that's just how I feel right now. Man, I'm looking at Lilith like so side-eyed. I also wonder if, I don't know if I really explained this earlier, but I wonder if Lilith's sort of tension with Mary has anything to do with the fact that she isn't doing everything she can to join everyone else in looking for the Halo, and Mary's still stuck on Shannon. But I still think that's, I don't know. I understand why Lilith wouldn't be totally supportive of Mary going out and doing an investigation about what happened with Shannon, especially now that someone else has the Halo and it's a random person, at least to them. It's a random person that has the Halo now and is going around, and the Halo is for the church, so I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. Also, we saw in the Arctech that there was, okay, maybe there wasn't, but I'll say that there was a boy in the back room, not back room, but like the back area of Arctech, and Ava saw him. I'm not sure if it was a hallucination. I don't know if that boy was actually there and is a hostage. I also wondered if the boy was also another angel, because it seems like Arctech has, maybe not a lot of divinium, but Arctech has some divinium, and maybe other angels could be pulled to the divinium, or like attracted to the divinium. So maybe that's why the boy was there. I also wondered, could that boy be a cherub? I don't know if cherubs are part of the Catholic religion or if it's just some other Christian denominations, but that was also a thought that I had. Maybe he's a cherub. I don't know. I don't know. That's something that's probably out of left field, so I don't know. I'll find out. So yeah, I think those are really the main areas of the episode that I wanted to talk about. For next episode, I think I'm most excited about seeing what information Mary is going to get out of McCready. We saw that she sneaks into the party as well as JC and his friends. And we see that she was looking for McCready because she got that information from the bullet specialist, I'm going to call him. So yeah, looking forward to what does McCready know? What is he going to tell? I'm also looking forward to seeing what are the dynamics going to be between Ava and the warrior nuns. Yeah, I suspect Lilith not going to be a fan. I really wonder, okay, it seems like Father Vincent is going to maybe give Ava a choice about whether she keeps the Halo and joins them. I don't know if he's gonna give the option about we take the Halo and we don't know what's gonna happen to you. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. But I wonder if, I suspect that Ava and Beatrice and Camilla are probably gonna be cool as far as dynamics go. Mary probably not gonna be cool. Mary seems generally kind of abrasive, so I don't expect that to change with Ava. But maybe if Ava is like in direct opposition with Lilith, Mary, might be cool. Like the enemy of my friend is the friend of my enemy is my friend. What? Okay, I said that wrong. I can get this. The friend of my enemy is my friend. So I'm sure I butchered that, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it could be that kind of situation between Mary, Ava, and Lilith. And I actually would like to see if Lilith would try to take out the halo on her own. Like, would she try to remove it from Ava without the Father Vincent's permission, or even with a surgeon present? I think that's the person that took it out of Shannon, was an actual surgeon. So could Lilith be like so far gone that she would try to remove it without anyone else knowing, or without anyone else's permission or help? And even if, not necessarily Lilith, but even if anyone tried to remove the halo from Ava, I wonder if it would even move. Like, I said this before, but I think the halo belongs to Ava. I think she's an angel, and I would just like to see, like, if anyone tried to remove it. I'm not so sure that it could be removed, I guess, is maybe the best way to say that. So there's a lot of good stuff in this episode, really. When I first watched it, I didn't think that there was a whole lot to talk about, but yeah, there's a lot of new things happening. Taking a second look, I realized that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to get into. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. I'm still, intrigued with the show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what's next. So let me know in the comments, what did you think about a character, or what do you think about this show having a character named Kristian? This is a show that's loosely based on Christianity. So did it make you chuckle? Did you think it was, nothing serious, or just like maybe like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing to do? Or did you think that having a character named Kristian in this show meant that character maybe represents something more than just being like a guy that's like a supporting character? When I first heard his name, I thought it was funny to have a character named Kristian in the show. But, after having watched the episode a second time, I wonder, I just have more questions about what's going on, and I wonder if maybe he will end up being more significant than it appears in this first episode. So if you already watched the show and you know what's going to happen, please don't spoil me. I'm going to find out, but just let me know, when you first watched this episode, did you have any thoughts about a character named Kristian in this kind of a show? Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. I've been talking long enough. My voice feels and sounds weird to me, so I think it needs to rest. So thank you for watching. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before you go, I want to let you know that you don't have to wait a week to hear my thoughts on the next episode. You can click the link in the description and get access to watch my next video right now. I'm sure future me has great thoughts about the next episode, probably insightful and very witty. So don't wait. Click the link below to watch it now. I'll see you there.